Most boys like horses. At Culver, the horses like the boys. And 8 weeks in the saddle at the Culver Summer School of Horsemanship forge a strong bond between a boy and his horse. 130 boys, 130 horses. Boys from all over America and from abroad. The horses of Culver's famous Black Horse Troop, the escort of presidents. Boys have different personalities. So do horses. Experienced horsemanship instructors, knowing every horse, become acquainted with the boy and assign him the right horse. A trooper rides and gets to know many horses during the summer. A trooper lives near the riding hall in a wooded camp area on a hill overlooking Lake Maxinkuckee. His specially designed tent has wood floors, screened in canvas walls and electric lights. He and his tent mates sleep on inner spring mattresses. The camp director and his faculty assistants, living in the camp with the troopers, form real bonds of understanding and lasting friendships. There's over a half-century of tradition behind the Culver Summer School of Horsemanship. Hundreds of boys from all sections of the nation who are dependable Americans today develop stamina, initiative, perseverance, and self-reliance as summer troopers at Culver. Neatness of tent and person characterize the alert trooper. New boots, new boys, and a wonderful new experience, learning to ride a horse. And being taught by an expert horseman who is a college graduate and a gentleman. Each trooper is taught in a small class, first learning how to approach the horse, mount, take the correct seat, and hold the reins. A trooper learns much during his first summer, but he cannot become an accomplished horseman in 8 weeks. Therefore, the School of Horsemanship requires 3 summers of instruction successfully completed for graduation. Actual riding for first-year troopers begins at the walk and progresses gradually to the trot and the gallop, with the instructor watching and carefully correcting all errors. The trooper will be advanced in his horsemanship by progressive stages as rapidly as he acquires confidence and skill. In a matter of days, he will be riding in platoon and troop drill. In addition to equitation, the first-year course includes jumping over small obstacles and cross-country riding over single logs. It's a rare privilege for a second-year trooper to learn polo under fine players and successful coaches. Culver Military Academy is one of the few preparatory schools in the United States that has a polo team. The trooper learns the rudiments of the game with polo practice at a walk, trot, and slow gallop. The thrill of cross-country riding over medium jumps is a part of the second-year instruction in the School of Horsemanship. And he also learns to take jumps over 3 feet high. In the third year of instruction, the hedges exceed 4 feet in height and are taken with ease and good form. The more proficient trooper also learns advanced jumping and prepares in the show ring for the final competition in jumping. Third-year troopers or seniors learn the finer points of polo from a competent instructor. They scrimmage with the mounts and equipment of the polo teams of Culver Military Academy, which have an enviable reputation for keen and aggressive play. 130 boys in black boots astride 130 black horses in sweeping formations. That's squadron drill in front of the riding hall. 3 periods a week, the beginner improves his mastery of the correct seat at all gates and learns from the old troopers, who coach him as they ride confidently through the entire routine. If he misses the command, he sits relaxed. His horse heard it. One of the unforgettable experiences for a trooper is the annual hike during the 5th week of camp. For 6 days, he will be in the field caring for his horse and himself. Every detail is planned well in advance by the troop officers and the camp director. The route of march may be along the historic Tippecanoe River, the banks of the Wabash, or through the lake regions of northwestern Indiana or southern Michigan. Nothing can be overlooked when packing for the hike. There'll be no haberdashery or drugstore just around the corner. Troopers sing, banter, chatter as they wind along country roads and through pastoral scenes in the cool of the morning. They move on a planned schedule, riding for 50 minutes and resting for 10 minutes of each hour of the ride. They change gait to make the next campsite by noon. They've been on the road all morning, and that cool green grove of trees beside the lake is inviting, but instead they head straight for the picket line. A trooper's first concern is for the well-being of his horse. He ties his mount in the shade for the cooling off period. He places his equipment in a designated place and joins his tent mates to make camp. The tents and personal equipment of the troopers have been delivered to the new campsite by truck. The field kitchen is in full operation close by, and the noon meal will soon be served. But care of the horses comes first. They are watered, fed, and curried. Only then will the trooper enjoy his noonday meal. Out on the road and then on the picket line, a trooper really gets to know his horse, and the horse his trooper. Meals are always more appetizing when prepared and eaten out of doors. After the noon meal, the troopers make their beds, arrange their personal belongings in their tents, and prepare for the afternoon inspection. The camp, accompanied by the squadron commander and his staff, inspects each trooper, his tent, and equipment. After inspection, the troopers are free to play games, to swim, or relax in the shade. Then stables at 5, supper at 6, movies or a song fest, and finally taps and deep slumber under the stars. The morning of the last day, horses and troopers are up with the sun. The horses, more wide awake than the troopers, are watered and fed. The aroma of bacon and coffee beckons the troopers to a hearty breakfast. With the blast of a whistle, down come the tents, and the memories of another campsite are rolled up with the canvas. For the last time on the hike, the bugle call "Boots and Saddles" echoes through the woods. Over on the picket line, the horses seem impatient to get underway. troopers are rather quiet as they move along the tree-lined shore of the lake in the early morning light. They have pleasant memories of a wonderful week in the field. 6 days lived so fully, so differently, so happily. Some may be looking forward to the next weekly dance sponsored by Troops A and B, to tennis matches, track and swimming meets with the midshipmen, or the commencement exhibitions. Others might be thinking of participating once again in rifle, motors, boxing, or golf. But the immediate concern to most troopers is the luxury of plenty of hot water upon arrival at the riding hall. Social life at Culver in the summer is colorful and delightful. Dances are given every Wednesday and Saturday evening. Many of the guests of the troopers and midshipmen come from the nearby lake community of summer residents. Troopers of the School of Horsemanship or midshipmen of designated companies of the Naval School serve each week as hosts at the Wednesday dances. The carefree rhythm of the trooper on the dance floor is as natural as his poise and precision in the squadron drill at commencement. With a salute to their parents, friends, and guests, 130 boys in black boots, astride 130 black horses, begin their continuous squadron drill during the closing exercises of the Culver Summer Schools. Troops A and B, as a squadron of cavalry, are under the leadership of their own captains, lieutenants, sergeants, and corporals. These troop officers are selected by the faculty after they have demonstrated their leadership in keen competition with their fellow troopers during a tryout period. Thoroughness, initiative, dependability, forcefulness, and the ability to secure the cooperation of others are the important considerations. Every trooper participates in the squadron drill. This training helps give him more self-assurance and self-reliance, increases his poise and confidence, and his respect for his companions. The horse shipment gives a trooper his opportunity to compete individually for honors in equitation and jumping. The drill of the Lancer platoon is a spectacular event of the commencement program. Members of this group are selected for their excellence in horsemanship. Every trooper aspires to become a Lancer. No commands, just a quiet perfection in the movement of horses and boys. There's nothing more enjoyable for many boys 14 to 18 years of age than 8 weeks in the saddle at Culver. The squeak of leather, the thud of hoofs, the lift of the wind under his campaign hat remind the trooper he is part of a half-century of Culver tradition.